Hi guys, Victoria Husit here, and today let's talk about what is new in taxes for 2022. And there is two big things that you should know about it. But before we go about two things that you should know about, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon so you can get all notifications coming from my channel. And now 2022 is almost here, which means that we will soon start filing taxes. First thing first, IRS usually starts accepting e-file tax returns end of January. And usually it's 27, 28, 23rd of January. It varies every year, but it's end of January. So you have time to get ready. Now, people who claim earned income credit and additional child credit, your tax returns will not be processed by the mid or closer to the end of February. You still can e-file, but you won't receive your refund until the closer to the February. And that's done because IRS wants to have more time to process your returns to make sure that they can detect any fraud that might be happening. So again, people who file tax return and they have earned income credit and advanced child credit, you will not see your refunds coming first week of even March, I would say, end of February, beginning of March. Also, a lot of people received big refunds in 2020, 2021, because they did not receive stimulus payments during a year. So they were claiming those stimulus payments on their tax returns. And refunds were significant because of that amount. So this year, there is no claiming stimulus payments. We haven't received anything during a year, so there is nothing to claim on a tax return as a recovery rebate. What is new for 2022 is that all those pay apps like CashApp, Venmo, all those apps where we can make a payment and be sending money to each other, the requirements was to issue 1099-K, the form where the company issues this form and submits to IRS and submits to you to showing how much money you received, was in the previous years $20,000. So if you got less than $20,000 on one of those pay apps, they were not reported to anywhere. This year, requirement changed significantly, and it's down to $600. So anybody who received more than $600 will be issued 1099-K form, and this form will be submitted to you and to IRS, which means you have to report this money on your tax returns, and you have to reconcile this money with information that IRS has. And yes, if you're getting reimbursements from work, let's just say, or from friends, or gift from friends, those amounts might be included in 1099s. And the way IRS saying that IRS has no ways of fixing it. This is not the IRS issue. You will have to contact your payment provider, payment app, and try to figure out it with them. At this point, I don't know, I have no information how those payments app determined what is the money, what is the payment, what is the reimbursement. Maybe based on the comments, I do not know, so I don't want to spread misinformation. But as far as IRS has no control on editing those forms. It's like, imagine W-2 or any 1099 NAC. What is reported to IRS takes it, and you need to report the same amount and reconcile it with IRS, because if the amount is different, they will send you a letter saying, why is this different? Need to go with the explanation. And the second thing that is different for 2022 is a charitable contribution deductions. For 2020 and for 2021, if you're standard deduction filer, you're not itemizing, you claiming a standard deduction, you could deduct $300 in charitable contributions. This did not get extended past 2021. What it means that in 2022, when you filing this tax return, this upcoming tax return, if you're a standard deduction filer, you cannot claim charitable contributions, period. Not $20, not $300, zero. The only way you can claim charitable contributions if you are itemizing. If you are filing your tax return and you have itemized deductions, meaning that you usually have mortgage, you have property taxes, you have medical expenses that are subject to a % of your adjusted gross income, and you have your charitable contributions. That's where you're gonna have your charitable contributions deductions. Otherwise, you cannot deduct your charitable contributions anymore. This is two big things that's gonna affect your tax returns. If you had your charitable contributions that you cannot deduct it, and if you have and you're using Venmo, be on the lookout of the Form 1099-K with all the money you received. Maybe right now it's a good time to go into your settings, to maybe chat with the customer service for those apps and figure out how they determine what is the payment and what is the payment for services, let's just say, or payment for the product, and what is the reimbursements from your friends because you bought them coffee. So I hope this was useful and helpful, and we still have time before the end of the year. So if you're doing any tax planning right now, it's a good time to kind of start putting things together and looking at your forms and figuring out what you need to prepare to have your tax season in order, fast, and compliant. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.